Nobody, and I repeat, nobody can see into your inner world and see all the different things you had to go through in order for you to heal, in order for you to step up and be the kind of person that you desire. This is what this video is about today. Let's get it.
Yeah. I'm inspired. I'm inspired.
Hey there guys, how's it going? My name is Sumet Chatterjee from the Flow Zone Academy, and I'm a flow state coach and a catalyst, and I help you feel better and perform better. Today I'm talking all about the inner world and inner work. Ooh, my knees just cracked. Feeling good. So in terms of the inner world, we can't really see what's going on in people's minds, okay? I can't read your mind. I don't know what you've been through, whether you've been through some PTSD or trauma or something in your life where it's held you back internally. And we also don't see like the real change, the inner work that we do. We can't see somebody's meditation practice and look into their own mind and see how they're suffering to connect different thoughts together and use their internal world like Google, right? We can't see that. And so we hear these things like, oh, once we measure it, then we can make progress. But what if you can't measure your inner growth? How can you measure your inner growth? It's a very good question. Well, do you feel better? And this is a question which you want to ask yourself long term, because when you do shadow work, when you do inner work, when you do a lot of the inner child healing and all this kind of stuff in regards to getting your flow state back, you don't start feeling better. You actually start feeling worse and then feeling better, because you want to go and start to become more stable, start to become more grounded as a person, and you have to stop attaching to your old identity. Once you keep attaching to your old identity, you're staying in that same level. You're staying with those same results. So you're going to have to actively change that part of you. And for me, it's been leading into my golden shadow. I've been talking about this for a while on this channel, but I really want you guys to rekindle that fire and that flame for that golden shadow. This is the fear of your own greatness. It's that imposter syndrome that kicks in, like, what if I'm too intimidating? What if I'm too much for people? What if I actually scare people away? Because there's this level of excellence that is so hidden underneath me that if I share that, there will be, wow, it's like my success will go up to here. But can I handle that success? Let's say I give you $1 million tomorrow. Can you handle that success? Can you actually feel like you deserve it and sustain it over time? Or do you feel like, oh no, I just got lucky, I just won the lottery, I don't know where it came from, and try to justify it and self-sabotage and blow it away in 2 days? So we have to feel this deserving when it comes down to our inner work journey. We have to feel like we deserve it, and that comes from self-esteem. But a lot of spirituality, there's a lot of bypassing that happens, right? And bypassing happens because we avoid the things that we need to do in order to heal. We avoid the things we need to do in order to actually do the inner work. And it shows up in these various ways. We've been putting it off for so long. Of course, it's going to come and bite you back in the ass eventually in the. So you might as well lean into that possibility. You might as well lean into that golden shadow and peer over the edge of your consciousness and see yourself as that majestic, shining being, emanating, not from any sense of ego, but just from your own divine nature. You see what I'm saying? No one can measure what's going on in your internal world, but you can understand your beingness is going to change and your lightness is going to change. When you feel heavy, you're in that shadow work phase. When you feel light, you're in that acceleration, upward spiral gang phase. You need both. You need to go deep and rummage through the trash and the dirt, get your hands messy and dirty and blood, sweat, tears. But then we also have the celebration, the elation, the receiving of good energy. The giving and receiving has got to have this positive loop. Otherwise, you're going to self-abandon. Otherwise, you're going to run away from yourself. You're going to focus on other abandonment. Like, oh, other people abandoned me. They left me. They're the ones that did this. No. Come back to the ways in which you've abandoned yourself. You told yourself you're going to do that. You diet, but then you gave up halfway. You told yourself you're gonna do this other thing and you gave up halfway. But the problem you think is the problem might not be the problem. You're not looking layers deeper, you're just looking at it superficially on one level and going through WebMD articles and trying to figure stuff out. WebMD isn't gonna save you. You are gonna save you. You are going to save you because you know yourself better than anybody else. Over years of research trying to figure out what if there was a laboratory there to test you. Like you're some kind of a freak of nature, like they just set up experiments to test you. They still couldn't test your inner world. They could try, they could get your neurochemicals and, they could scientifically test you. They can do blood tests, they can take urine samples, they can take saliva samples. They can't see your aura yet. Carillion technology's only gone so far. They can't test your positive efforts and growth and how your mindset works in your own internal world. How does your self-talk reflect and give you that positive momentum? They can't see that. But you don't need that either, because you need to give that to yourself. You need an inner mother and an inner father in order to heal your father wound and your mother wound. Everybody has these wounds growing up, straight up. And of course, in your child healing, but these are important. So you got to speak to those two parts of you, because that is your identification with masculine energy and feminine energy. So you got to have a care, soft, feminine voice inside you saying, it's all going to be okay. Everything's taken care of. And I love you. I love you with all my heart. And I hope you grow to be a wise, honorable, respectful, amazing man, amazing person. Okay? That's the feminine. The masculine has got to be, son, I hear you. I see you. I know the cities that you wish to attain. Cities are magical powers, however, they're just spiritual attainments. And you can have it all. Just have that discipline, that diligence to move forward into the unknown, move forward into the fear. And you know I've got you, son. I've got your back, and you're protected spiritually. So here we go. Let's accelerate and win. Let's crack the code of this matrix together, son. Let's be the father-son glitches that change this entire paradigm around. Ooh. That's father energy, right? That's like, I gave you that. But that was also, again, this is what works for me, right? Your dad isn't going to sound like this in your own mind. Your mom is not going to sound like this in your own mind, okay? But you want it to be like the most divine qualities of parenting within your own internal self-talk. You get what I'm saying? So it's almost like an Aphrodite energy and an Apollo energy together. And once you get this understanding, you mythologically start to change your life to the greatest of your capacity, man. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of us, we don't see our lives like we're gods in training, like we're goddesses in training. We don't see ourselves like that, but we are. We've just forgotten. We're gods with amnesia. And I'm here to remind you today to step into your true power. And I'm not saying you're God. I'm not talking about, over exaggerating and claiming that you are, but you are a spark of it. You have that divine spark within you. You are a divine being. You are living through that God consciousness. And this is what I wanted to remind you of today, because I think it's important. Of course, we can't measure it, and people can't see all the thoughts you've thought about, all the things you're running in your own internal scripts. But what they see is the results. They don't see the backstory, and they don't need to see the backstory either. But you can own your backstory. You can turn your mess into your messages. You can show up and be like, hey, listen, man, enough is enough. I'm here to step in and stand up for something. No one has stood up for me, that's okay. I'm gonna stand up for me. I'm gonna stand up for you too. I'm gonna believe in you more than you believe in you. And that can't work, I understand that. You gotta believe in you as much as I believe in you. But straight up, that self-belief has got to be strong. It's got to be potent. I know you needed to hear this message today. I know you needed to hear this message today. Because I needed to hear it too. But it's time to wake up. Specifically, I'm talking to the men. Women too. You got to support your men in this ascension, in this journey. Primal Sutra, we're coming soon. Be on the lookout. Let's get it today. Upward Spiral Gang. May we never be the same again. May the flow be with you. Hit that subscribe button. You know you want some of this energy to tap into every day. Come on now. Come on now. Come on. It's just a little button. Just press it. All right. Let's go. Os.